time at Superbowl pairs, which again, like I said the other evening, is new. I've been asked a couple of questions about it. They are different from our normal pairs in the fact that the bowlers are allowed to use 3 bowls, and they can change skip and lead if they wish at the end of each set. I haven't actually ever seen anybody do it yet. We used to do it quite a bit in Federation, where they used to play many moons ago. And again, same in the pairs, the leads can't visit the head, but the skips may, and the skips only can nominate to fire. So the leads cannot fire. They can play a heavy bowl. They can, well, the leads, I won't say the leads cannot fire. The leads cannot nominate to kill. Right? But, somebody did come up to me and say, is it right that the lead and the skip can both nominate to kill? And I thought, that's 4 players on the green, 4 people nominating to kill. I can only stand so many dents in the end wall. No, so that's basically what it is. Who was here this afternoon? All of you? Some of you? Did you enjoy it? Are you happy bunnies? Yeah. Yeah, I think you did. I thought the pair of them were really brilliant. I thought they were. And I think tomorrow morning could be just as interesting, looking quickly at the sheets for tomorrow. But once again tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's all being streamed live. It's quite interesting that yesterday's stream we were peaked at 650 people watching, which for a stream is pretty good. So I don't know what today's figures are yet, but I'll let you all know tomorrow, seeing as many of you keep coming up and asking me. So here we are. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the pairs. So without further ado, we'll bring them on. And the first pair up, it's the Rossendale Rocket, Andy Cairns and Chris Gale. And the ladies and gentlemen, they're up against the duo of Danny Dangerous Barwise and it's Lincolnshire's very own Billy Jackson.
Thanks, Richard. Very interesting pairs match in front of us. Got confirmation that Andy Cairns is going to play lead with Chris Gale, but it looks like Danny Barwise is going to play lead for Billy Jackson. I think that's very wise under the circumstances. You know, the 2 flat green players are both experienced back-end bowlers. They're very usual for them to play the conversion shots. They can both drive, and they're going to concentrate on the crown greeners to draw shots, which is very much their strength at this stage. With me is Chris Brown. Chris, it'd be interesting to see how these guys go on this one. I think this could be a very tight game.
I think it will, David. And I was sat in the crowd last night watching the pairs. I was slightly surprised that both the sort of flat players took the lead, to be honest. 'Cause I guess in Crown when we play doubles, more often than not, the sort of better player takes the sort of skip role as it is. So I think it is interesting tonight that they've sort of swapped that role round. So I think it will be interesting to see how they play. I mean, we saw yesterday both Andrew and Danny played really well in the circumstances, as did Chris and Billy obviously qualifying. So I think, as you say, it will be a really interesting game tonight.
Yes, I think if we were to turn this around into the crown green, my hand would go up in the air right away to play lead. I certainly wouldn't want to be skipping in the crown if I was playing with a top crown player, because they'll be able to read the green better. They'll be able to play a whole range of shots that I couldn't dream of playing. So I think it's a better way to play this.
I think so. I mean, I'm playing in the pairs tomorrow night with Darren Bennett, who's played amazing today to beat Gary Ellis, and I think I'm contemplating putting Darren at the front and the back, to be honest, because he played that well. So.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Darren is if you put him at the front, he'll get 2 balls close or 3 balls close, which is the other way of looking at it.
Yeah,
But, I think it'd be wise just to concentrate on the drawing like this, and that's the whole idea, is to get close like that. And that's what Andy will do.
Switch if you like, mate, slightly that side.
And of course, getting instructions from Skip is something, once again, different for most of the crown guys.
It is, and I think, what we saw last night, in a little way, it's the Skips sort of appreciating the Crown's players' ability at this code of the game. When they might ask to sort of run a jack a foot or 18 inches, it's really tricky for us to do that. So it's like we were saying yesterday in commentary. You've almost got to restrict us to the draw or the strike, to be honest. Which again is why I think these two pairs have got it the right way around, putting the flat range at the back.
Good stuff.
Absolutely, commanding the two balls.
That's the benefit of concentrating on the draw shot. Billy immediately under pressure.
Well. Okay, good effort.
It's just hanging off. You can see what he's trying to do. Chris would be wise to put one round the back, although there's 3 balls rather than 2. We quite often play with 2 ball pairs, and this is a 3 ball pairs. I can understand why, but it just lengthens the game a bit more, and you can afford to leave your covered balls to the second and third, whereas in a 2 ball pairs you would immediately cover those green ones with your first ball.
I think so, and possibly one of the reasons is to give the Crowners a little bit of help along the way, because to just send 2 balls up in this sort of format is really tricky for us guys. I think if we look back at the videos over the last couple of days, it generally is the second and third balls that are the good ones rather than the very first, so it does give us a chance to adjust.
I think that was the idea behind it. Billy looking on an inside line this time, but he's going to have a lot of weight to hold that. Oh dear, Billy. Where on earth did that one come from? With 3 against you. Cool.
Yeah, same again.
Mine, I think.
He didn't get it away at all. Well, putting one down there means that Chris will just draw another, and he's got the last ball if he needs it. Yep, out on a good wide line. This will drift back.
On a bit. Let's have your real one, Bill. Come on, right down. Put him there.
That will make the 4. Billy wasting no time. He's a quick player anyway. But he doesn't have to think about what shot he's going to play. He just has to draw out the pack.
There's a chance.
Oh, look at this.
What a real ball that is.
Left it to the last. We're going to get the usual comments. I love this. If you can hear them, let me know, because I don't have a clue what they're saying sometimes. I think there's a few boys that have been enjoying the hospitality.
That's a good way of putting it, David. I think.
They're paying for it, but the hospitality's
Yeah.
there.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's a lovely place. First time we've been, I think, so it's really impressed with it.
Good idea for a lot of indoor clubs. 2 for 1. 12 o'clock to 2.
I think it's a good idea for every pub and club, to be honest.
As you want.
Well, Chris is trying
Fly.
a conversion.
Yep. Again.
Any touching a jag, he's worth a bundle.
Great
Oh,
ball.
look at this.
Great ball.
Oh,
What a great
oh,
ball.
Well, we'll see how many there is, but
Lots, I think.
There's one green lurking back there, which might just save the 5 or 6. I think that was 6 shots. What a last ball conversion after Billy Jackson throwing right in.
It's massive, and I think again that's a big advantage for having the flat guys at the back. I'm sure they'll not mind me saying if it was Andrew or Danny having to try and play that shot, the chances not we might have been asked to play it, but to be able to do it is a massively different matter.
First down and you're 6-0 down. Albeit it should be 6 for the red rather than 6 for the green, but we'll get that sorted in a moment. There we go. Guys in red will feel a bit better about that. Suddenly they're 6-0 up instead of 6-0 down.
Yeah, it's a big swing at this early stage.
All sorted. And it's good, this one. Creeping its way in. And he looks to me to be a real competitor. Oh, he looks like he's a tough guy to put down.
He is, and I think that's a very apt word. I think competitor is a proper description for Andrew. He's a top class player. He's got as much ability as any player in the game, and he does put his heart and soul into every ball, you can see, and he loves the game. Like we were saying yesterday in commentary, sometimes he might not come across as that when you're watching him, but those people who know him will know he absolutely lives the game, and he is a top exponent of it.
Yeah, I think whenever you've got that competitiveness about you and a little bit of an edge about you, it sometimes reflects sort of maybe not in the most positive light when you're playing, but having said that, you probably win the odd games as well in the odd championship. Maybe you shouldn't win because you've been able to apply yourself just that bit more.
It is, and it's in a way it's sort of refusing to lose, if you like.
Yeah.
It's nothing simpler than if you're being beaten to think, I'd sort of lose this and get out of here. Whereas Andrew's one of those, I think, over the years will properly dig in and try and get as many points as he can, and if that then leads to a victory at the end of the day, then so be it.
Yeah, it's we have some players at it, as we call them. And I've always liked this term, and that was they're hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know, you might be playing better than them, but they're still hard to beat, hard to put down.
And I think that's one of the many reasons why Gary Ellis is probably our best player, arguably, in that he might not consistently put them as close as other people, but he is just so hard to beat.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that make him such a great player and champion. And Andrew's one of the made of the same mould.
Billy looking for the bowler jack, very close to the jack.
Oh, good shot.
Yep, edge will do. That looks like it's running down into the ditch. It's going to bring that other back green one into play. Chris will be on the backhand out wide and keep us as wide as possible. First target, try and get one within 3 to 4 feet if at all possible. Yep, it's not bad with this. We need to see it from the other end. There's the jag, sneaking about there. Lurking just in underneath. Good ball by Chris. Oh, Billy, Granny, what are you doing down there?
There's a yard
Two
past
massively
it.
short balls, Billy's chucked it up to now. Sure, I'll not be happy with that.
Got that one away well. He'll be playing across his body slightly so that the ball hangs on a bit longer before we start to get the dip down into the jack. And call just delivering for a late draw. He's held it up very well.
How close are Chris's 2 balls to each other, mate?
Billy asking about the 2 balls to see whether they're close enough to be taken off. He really needs to think about getting something on the board, doesn't want to be 8-0 down. Well, we'll bring one more in terms of that. There's a green ball in the ditch. Doesn't look like it's scoring. I'm sure if we can get the 2 balls. If we can, it might be worth 2 or 3. Nothing easy about it at that distance.
Try the pair down.
Four, and we must be going for the 2.
Try and get them both out.
There, Danny.
That's it. Oh, great shot by Billy.
Brilliant ball to get the 2.
Can't get the crowd going as well.
Might be 3 or 4 there. I think the Crown guys enjoyed that.
I think they did. I think Danny's just thanking his lucky stars for a good partner.
No. It was a top spin, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. But when Danny says you can draw that way.
Unfortunately, we don't have sound in here, and it makes it a bit difficult for me to know exactly how many shots that was, so we're just waiting for it to come up.
You should do more.
Big turnaround, 4 it is.
It is, and 6-4 after 2 ends. It could be a cricket score by the time we've finished.
Not if you're England.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that was harsh. I shouldn't say that.
Harsh but true.
True.
It's all right. Look at that.
6 and a 4. I think that's pretty interesting to begin with. But good shot, I have to say, by the skip both times to make those conversions, and that's exactly why, as we'll probably say throughout the whole game,
Well played, Andy.
that the flat are playing on the playing skip for that reason.
I think it is, and I think, you know, if that's the case in the doubles, us flat ground guys want to make sure that our balls are sort of at least at the back or not in the way to allow those conversion shots to take place. You know, there's nothing worse than being short and in the way of your partner, which I don't know if Danny's going to do the same here, but
Just under it, but it's a decent
Oh,
ball
she's
in the
very good,
area.
mate. Anything beating the tee, you good now?
I always love it in the
Good
players'
again.
profiles when they're saying they're married, but they don't tell you.
Fast as you like. Fast, fast, fast.
You sort of
Yeah, very good.
apologise, you know. But for Danny's kids, Hannah and Thomas, I hope you're watching.
I'm sure they
A
will
lot
be. I'm
different,
sure
mate.
they will
Pace
be.
was very good.
So but it's
Sit
we
on the
should
front
put
ball,
on
you
it
go
the
down.
marital status. Who to?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we know. At least Andy's had the wit to tell us that
Yeah.
his partner Karen's there, which was good.
No, Danny told me a funny story yesterday where his wife, she knows she's come to a bowling tournament, and she's rung him up yesterday saying, "Why have you not took your bowls with you?"
Exactly.
Obviously thinking he's playing Crown Green, but
I'll switch
one of the
now.
advantages in a
Anything
way, I
beating the
guess, of
green?
being
You
married
like
to
pass?
a lady who's not involved in bowling at all.
Very wise.
It sometimes is. I mean, I'm a very lucky guy. My wife's massively involved in bowls. She's probably better than I am, to be honest. So she knows exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing. So quite happy with that.
And he's close. On the back bowl is perfect. That's 3 very, very good bowls. 2 in the head and 1 at the back. Can't ask for anything better. So Volley and Amber and Ben are watching. Andy's doing well. He's giving all the ammunition to his skip to make this a good game. But let's keep it moving, guys. Let's not walk up and down just too much. 2 ends in 20 minutes. We'd quite like it to be a bit more than that.
We'd hope so. To be fair, once they get on the mat, they're sort of getting them away quite quickly, but it's just the walking to and fro that's taking the time.
Billy looking for a close one.
So that'll be an effort, Bill. Lucky.
Yeah. Small margins. I think Chris will be worried about it. He'll be trying to get another one.
No, and I think Chris has shown over the last couple of days he's more than capable of drawing shots in there.
He's a very good player. He qualifies for a lot of events in the PBA, but it's also his home green. He knows every inch of this rink.
I think it shows what you see. The difference in the majority of the flat players versus the Crown is that Chris is one of those that gets his balls away smooth every time. You've probably seen yesterday with 4 of our guys.
Oh, Chris,
Not
come
everyone
on.
got every
Right
ball
down
away
to it.
smooth, and it's quite difficult to
Come
know what to
on.
adjust if that's the case.
Well, it's just a different and
Decent
difference
spot, though.
in the delivery as well. That's all. You
Absolutely,
have
yeah.
to change to when you're coming onto the fast end.
Absolutely.
It's totally essential to do that.
Mm.
Billy looking to get something close again. Anything off his last ball would be good. Oh, this one.
Another short again.
Yeah, it looks like it's stroking it a bit. Weight was
Tight.
good.
Good effort.
You've gone just about 2 feet past for what you wanted. Shot's still there.
Convinced I'd worry about that, to be honest. It's more complicated than the forehand. I think he's playing it because he doesn't want to leave a shoulder on the backhand for Billy to allow him the drive shot.
Mine's good.
He's looking to come
Oh,
underneath the
get
green
past
if he
that
can. No, he's caught on it.
Hard line.
Well, in some respects a bit of a wasted one though.
Hard line.
The pace was right with the miss, but like you say, he probably would have expected to get one in there.
It's got to be tempting for Billy to have a little pop at this because he could take one out. He's already tried to draw it twice and not succeeded.
Drawing now. I think that's the big difference. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the Crown guys would have more struck at that with every ball, to be honest.
Once again, irrespective of his weight, he's underneath.
Yeah.
Short, well, it's cardinal sin.
Yep, there's no damage limitation on that one. 3 goes at it and still 2 down. Chris Gale more than likely will change onto the backhand for the open side. Draw another one for 3. Forehand's well cluttered up.
Come on. Be a length. As you want.
Oh, he's dropped it. Missed the spare shot. Early days, 9 end sets, 2 sets, 3 ends in the tie-break if needed. Haven't had too many of those. Pairs game. Well, anything's possible in this match. There wasn't too many people about who were prepared to say who was going to win. But, I think the last game with Wayne, there might be a few people making their way to check out their winnings.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Crown guys would have backed Wayne, not just because they thought he had a reasonable chance, but just because of the big price he was. I mean, some of the bookmakers priced him up at 11-2 in any 2-horse race, any sport. It's just massive. So, yeah, quite rightly he's the outsider, but at that price, it's just absolutely massive. So I'm sure, as you say, a few other guys who've been watching this afternoon probably not in the crowd now because they're away to the bookies to collect the winnings.
They'll be back to spend them as well.
We can hope so. Only if we're in the bar by then, David. That'd be lovely.
Is the Crown still got the betting as much?
It has indeed, yeah. There's a lot of bookmakers, more independent ones rather than the sort of mainstream high street ones. But yeah, it's a massive part of the game, massive. And again, that's one of the reasons why the crowds come to watch, so they can have a little flutter. You know, it's not sort of big money, but it's enough to get people interested.
Oh, if you put a fiver on someone, you're going to be in there supporting them.
Well, you are, and you know, again, that's one of the reasons why I guess, from an atmosphere point of view, the last game was really vociferous because a lot of people had backed Wayne and they're sort of shouting their money. Yeah, they might have wanted him to win, but because they backed him as well, it's like a double bonus if he wins. So, as we say, I'm sure Paul's not taking it in any sort of bad way because Wayne's a local favourite, plus the vociferous Crown crowd has got behind their man.
Yeah.
And I think they've walked
nothing
away
wrong
quite
with
happy. No, absolutely not.
Bit of a loose one for Andy. Not too far away. Danny hasn't been able to capitalise with the last ball. Open draw for Chris either side. His strong bias ball will come around those.
Yeah, Danny's disappointed with that, but it's like we say, you know, there's sort of 4 short bowls there, so Chris's his only option is to draw, I think.
Well, up to the jack or behind, give himself some option. He's got balls on the way in the forehand, so if he misses his line, he's always got a chance to promote. Yep, it'll come strong now. Here it comes. Yep, all the way. Number 1. Looks number 1 to us, but that's no guarantee. There'll be a few boys making their way out of the bar, I would say, in the next 10 minutes or so.
I think so. I think there's just a little bit of a debate going on between Paul Foster and Michael Stepney and a couple of the Crown guys about the tickets in the different codes. So it's yeah, I was dragged out of that myself. So it's good. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
I'd love to hear Michael in the middle of that one.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, that could be an interesting discussion. I would have thought.
No, I think it would have been nice to record that just to play that back as well.
It's the way it is. Suck it up, boys.
Yeah. Oh no, there's no
It's,
issue.
it's all part of it. There's no animosity. It's just a matter of generating it. And the thing is that our home internationals are so noisy and various other things, but as long as no one steps over the line, it's all good banter. You know, it's
Absolutely.
playing against Scotland a few years ago back in Belfast, and the Scottish boys right in front of the bar, and they were giving me heaps. They were just getting right into me. You just hope that you have a few good balls to give it back to them, and they took it all well. That was the point. You know, it's when you sort of give it back a bit. They were good. They were good value for it.
No, that's right, and it's the same in any sport. I think, you know, the crowd appreciate that if you can sort of perform under that kind of pressure and in that atmosphere, then you know they properly appreciate how good you are at your children's sport. So I think it's a good thing.
Good effort this time. Just dropping on the high side, Billy. Chris not worried about the jack. He's aiming for the back green bowl. Just over it. Well, the way Billy's looking at this, I mean, to think of the shots against him, it's difficult to tell with us because of the angle of the camera coming down on it. No indication on the screen as to who's lying the shot. But if he's playing weight, you can only guess at the shots against him. Otherwise, it would just be a draw onto the bowl. Let's see what sort of weight he's using. Yeah, he's looking at the front bowls. If he misses those, he gets the shot ball out nice and clean.
Likes it. Just be too wide.
He's got it all the way. Yeah, it looked good coming down.
Crowd like that as well.
Yeah, they like the little running bowls, don't they?
Mm.
You know, they're not out drives, they're controlled weight, and
It's just that extra bit of excitement, isn't it?
well, oh,
Danny, you got to bring the mat here and we'll play back.
it was a definite double. I don't think it was any more than that, just waiting for confirmation for the score. Didn't expect 4 though.
No, crikey. It's a massive shot from Billy, if that's the case.
Well, there was good reason why I was excited. 2 4s in this match.
And to see.
6-0 down now. 3 hands later he's level.
Very good, Danny. Super start, mate.
No, that's good. That conversion from Billy. Danny to lead a real good bowler. Puts Andrew under a little bit of pressure.
Just waiting for Andy's hat to go flying down on the
Keep coming.
It's probably less likely to come off with him leading, but I'm sure it'll find its way down there at some point.
I was chatting to him just before the match and said, well, what about the hat? And he says, I hope I don't have to put it on for it. So,
Yeah. He loves it, really. Just a complete character.
All the way down.
Great guy.
All right, keep coming.
yeah, he's down again. That's good stuff. Playing himself into the match.
I think it's probably easier as well for the Crown guys when they're
Either
trying
hand,
to draw
full
all the
shot,
time.
with
Rather
you.
than play pace or strike or whatever, it does give them that extra confidence to know what they're doing.
Yep, definitely better.
I hope my man's watching.
Deep to side. Up you get.
Nice
Yeah.
first with us.
Oh, big chance.
Through again,
chance.
through again.
Super shot. Look at
Oh, great ball, Andrew.
that. Right in behind it. Oh, the jack.
Cat might be off.
1 green.
Calm
Oh,
and Jack
did
knocked
it
it back to you,
Yeah.
Dan.
Just turned the jack
Good
round the
balls
corner.
down there,
That's
like.
the problem in that
Anything
situation.
just fly it.
Indoors, when we fall on the jack, it has a tendency to move it.
Yeah.
But you guys, the jack's so big and heavy.
Very rarely moves it to that distance, at least.
Come on in. Bit more, matey.
Billy's calling it down
Yeah,
because
a
he
bit further,
realises
guys.
it's going
Well
into a
done.
good position. Yep,
Well done,
that's
mate.
very
Go into your
good there.
face, Andy. You can half the ball. Turn the jack. Get up.
Just needs to hurry a little bit more on that line.
Again. Up, up, up.
Get a few minute, but just a little bit wider. And Billy's looking to see that if the ball is hit onto the jack, it will squeeze out to Danny's back one. the forehand, he can come around the short stuff onto the red. And if he misses it, goes between the two red balls, he gets good position. Not a difficult choice. The backhand offers him nothing. It's a bit on the narrow side though. He's nipped that forehand a few times now.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's okay. It's not bad. There's a bit of protection. Chris will probably try and draw, but he's got the hit shot available. That last one coming in.
Yep.
It's a bit merry, this one. It's a long way away from what he was looking for.
I don't know if he's purposefully put it at the back there, I'm not sure. It's a long way from what you'd expect Chris to be playing.
If you're going to hit a shot against you, you'd better do it with a second one in case it goes wrong. This is the one that Billy's looking for. On the high line to drop in.
Still just the one down.
Still a useful ball. Still only the one. He's not attacking it. No.
Well, come on, finish, finish.
Well, that's going to kill the next shot. Don't think you can get a nice clean road on the backhand now.
Yeah.
I would change it with Billy, you know, it's... Come on, don't draw diagrams, Billy, keep it moving.
Like I say, Chris has almost snookered himself there to come that way again, so it's what he can actually do other than play a little bit of a runner. So, like I said, Billy's probably just got to try and get one in there.
Trying to work out where it's going to go if he does hit it. That's the issue, and sometimes you can put a ball in position at the back or to the side on the respot position and say, well, if you hit it and it goes wrong, I'm going to get one, maybe two. Changes their shot.
Yeah. And again, like we've said a few times, and I'm sure we'll say a few times more this week, it's just that side of the tactical side of the game that we're not really used to. So it's interesting to see how the flat guys approach these kind of shots.
Well, he's still looking for the forehand and try and make it through the gap. Close to last time, coming down off a high line, but it's still struggling just a little bit. Those balls are not dipping in.
Great effort, Bill.
Right, Chris. Just how confident are you? 2 or 3 shots in the backhand, that's why he's looking. Ball on the ball, red on the jack, he's got position either side. Doesn't have to be too heavy at this. Even the other green ball might give him a possibility of the shot, but he'd be very unlucky to lose any more than one, even if it goes wrong. Certainly worth arriving inside line with a couple of yards of weight. Yes, definitely using a little bit. There it comes down. He's pretty close to this. Depends on the angle. Ooh, a good effort. Really good effort. There you go. 6-0 down, the one in front.
No, and I think Billy and Danny would have definitely taken that after that first end, massively so.
Yeah, it's a great pullback, I have to say.
It is, and again, you know, those guys playing this game, you don't expect high scoring ends, 6s and 4s. You would have thought would be fairly rare, but to have sort of 2 4s and a 6 in 5 ends is.
Yeah, conversion shots mainly, I have to
Mm.
say. So your last ball conversions, you've no right of reply.
No, and I think Chris's last bowl in the first end's probably one of the bowls of the tournament, to be honest, up to now.
Yeah, it was a lovely trail, I have to
Mm.
say. Billy's takeout was excellent for the
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
So
yeah.
those are the sort of shots that we would be playing. The flat green, I say we, in terms of the flat green players, would be playing on a regular basis. And this carpet allows for it as well because it's not too quick. So it allows for those sort of conversions. We're going on the long end. Nudging the jack.
Oh,
good.
great ball by Danny. No lose, great ball.
Anything past the jack is good. That's
Wow.
that's very handy there. That's it, still reaching. Ball on the ball on the jack. If you miss it and come inside, you take the red one out. Gives you command of the end. Yeah, he's in the area for this. Got the other red one.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, Andrew just left that short. Almost blocked Chris up on the forehand, I think.
Danny Barwise, an Everton supporter. Just thought I'd leave that hanging in the air.
I'll leave it as well. That's right. No, I know he's big into his football, Danny. He's told me a few tales this week about some fairly profitable gambles that he's had that we'll not share with his beloved, but we'll leave it at that.
Please don't. Well, at least he's a hometown supporter, which is good.
Absolutely.
And all in favour of that.
Absolutely.
So,
And Andrew's one as well. He's a massive Burnley fan, so
he said he was in Burnley.
yeah.
Billy after the ball. Any touch on the outside would have brought the jack across. Some good wee efforts here for conversion shots and people getting close.
It's good to see all 4 players getting really into the game as well. You know, you can see everybody's trying and wanting to do as well as they can for the partner. So it's good to see.
Yeah, we thought this was going to be a good one. It's turning out that way. But like everything else, you have to play the good bowls before you can cheer them. And the guys are all 4 are playing some really good stuff. Chris close to moving the jack. That's what he's after. Well, that won't do any harm. Well, he might be tempted to come right at this because the way that's sitting, his own ball will probably disappear, but the other 2 reds will definitely disappear. Come on, guys. Let's not draw diagrams. That's it, Billy. I've worked it out.
They need earpieces, David, so
Yeah.
you can tell them what to do.
God, if I can work it out in 10 seconds, they can. I'm playing against Billy in the home internationals. I'll give him stick, you see. That's all.
No, he's a good guy. Billy.
I'll just say to Billy, come on, I know diagrams, Billy. Come
Yeah.
on. Just no more chats in the middle of the green. Just get on with it.
You can
That's all.
just imagine him looking at you, smiling, and then
He
taking
would.
the shot on.
He would. That's Billy. We've had some good battles over the years in team play as well. Good lad to play against.
Mm.
Yep, going for the heavy one. Oh, he's in
Well.
the area.
Danny? Oh.
Jack's away. It depends if it's gone into the ditch. He will be hoping that it's going on the respot. That's a very good angle for us. Let's see what's happening here.
Looks like it's gone off.
Oh, the respot's going to be good for him.
Yeah.
That's going to be really good for him. That's a smile.
Billy
Yep.
Belly laughing as well.
There you go. Line a couple. Don't think he was too sure where it was going to go when he hit it.
Good shot though. It's not as if he came in off a
Nope.
short side ball. He's pretty much at the target he was aiming for, so he can't complain about that. And Chris has got a lovely delivery. I think it really must help him on this carpet.
Needs to slow down. Needs to slow down. He hasn't saved anything. This is going to be a fantastic comeback if they get another 2 or 3 here.
Crikey,
It'll be remarkable.
yeah. Still fancy Chris to beat these at least, you know, with the last ball.
Yeah. Billy had to be close to this one.
Mm.
That was the thing. He had to really get a front knocker on that. He's lying the 3, but the thing is, with Chris having 2 bites at this, you would expect him to draw it with the second one.
Well, you would, and you just don't know how the guys sort of react to the pressure of the situation. You know, he potentially 3 down, going 12-8 from such a big start. It's a big ball for Chris, and if he can pull it off, fair play.
He'll put that to the back of his mind.
Has he reached?
Just concentrating. Oh, he's definitely there. Here he comes. Oh, he's not definitely there. I thought he was going to be enough. It seemed to actually almost pull up on the outside. Now, you've played on the rink. I haven't played on it this week. I played on it before. When you go really far out, is it soaking it up the weight?
Absolutely it is, yeah. And you could almost, if there's sort of no balls in the way down the middle of the rink, you're almost better going on the forehand trying to get in that
Come
way.
across.
Because it's a similar kind of length, but you can see as you stood on the mat, you know, the sort of shape of the bowls that are going up, the carpet's a lot darker to the sides. And I think that's where Chris has just struggled, but it's really hard because you've got to get it through that, and then once you get through it, it runs. So it is a really tricky shot to play. I mean, if he's not won, he'll be disappointed, but I don't think it was potentially as easy as it might have looked there.
Is that 2 in a measure? Is that 2 in a measure, Billy?
Mike Davies has sorted out.
I'm not sure, to be honest, mate. I don't know. The way Chrissy's came down, it was red, but
I
stopped
kicked the green one out at first, but what's happened after that, I don't know.
Took one off.
Good save, but like we say, Chris will be disappointed, but I don't think it's as if it was trying to draw a shot in the middle of the rink. It's a lot harder than it looked, I think, there.
He'll be disappointed because he knows the lines here, and he's been on the rink enough to know that you give it a wee bit extra, especially with having 2 bites at it.
I think he has, you know, people said he's practiced quite a lot over the last few weeks, and it's whether he's just been practicing the sort of centre rink or whether, I don't know how the flat guys practice, whether they do practice towards
do.
the
Yeah,
right, okay,
oh,
so
absolutely.
you would assume he's done that as well, so it's, no, he'll be disappointed, Chris.
Well, 3 down now, with 3 ends to go. This would be a big set of Danny and Billy win it.
Yeah, again, Danny with a great lead there.
We're looking at just over an hour set, which is a bit on the slow side.
think it is, but with it being so high scoring, it's a little bit more exciting
Well,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, it's a good game. It is.
Yeah.
The quality of the game is good.
absolutely. I mean, I'm not
Again,
sure,
Mike.
David. I would have thought Andrew might have played on the forehand there into that. I'm not.
He might still,
Yeah.
but the whole idea in pairs is about getting a close ball
Right. Right.
rather than the
Trying
number one shot. That's really where the difference is. We're not as Jack focused as maybe the Crown
Right.
are, and he would have said, I've no doubt that Chris would have said, play whatever hand you feel comfortable on
Third
for the
level.
first ball.
Follow Jack there.
Yeah.
Just get one in,
Mm.
and now he's moved to the
Yeah.
forehand.
And you're right. You know, we have definitely got to listen to our partners in this game because they know far more than we'll probably ever know about it. It's too far.
Yep. So he's coming to a good home.
Mm. But again, like we said, far better there than
You can stay there, mate. Yeah, just
Sure.
be stiff
For me, if you're marking that as a selector for some of our teams or whatever, and people go, oh, well, that wasn't close to whatever he was after. But the reality is, you get night for short there. You just get nothing for it. So anything full or past the jack is good.
Well, it is. It's a chance of counting. It's not in your partner's way. Like I say, it's just everything good, really.
Yeah, well done, mate.
And it
Cheers,
shows
mate,
that you're
yeah.
being positive about the end
Connection's
itself in the first place.
He needs to hurry with this one. He needs to really hurry with this one. Well, he wasn't that far away, as it turned out, but
Tight.
well, I think Chris might be tempted with this. Just a little rock and roller, as we would call it. A few yards in on the forehand. Trail a jack back to the back position. Choices for Billy. He either comes in and tidies it up, or goes deep for the cover. Yes, it looks like he's trying to tidy it up to me. Turn to the jag or rest the red one. He misses the red one. He gets a good position ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, good effort, Bill.
I think that's the other thing as well. It's all right knowing where you want to put the ball, but it's actually doing it. It's all right when you're aiming for a jack or a ball to rest on, but to just put it in an empty space. I think that's one of the things that the flat guys do far better than we probably do.
Yes, position ball is different.
Mm.
And quite often we're thinking 2, 3, 4 balls ahead
Yeah.
as well. So you guys are only using 2 balls each most of the time.
Yeah, or one in my case.
Well, a lot of people use the first one as a range finder.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the second one's the one that really does the damage. Oh, it's Chris's turn to go up and see what's happened.
Hello.
I think what's happened there is that the opposition
Is that the
or
second
no,
ball?
his partners used his ball.
Maybe
Now,
tricky.
the question is,
Bug.
which one is it?
Do they just sort of replace it now?
Yep, they just put the chalks down and replace it in, but it's questionable that he actually, the closest ball he has was actually Billy's, or sorry, Chris's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You need to
You have
swap
to
for the
ask the
next end.
question.
Yeah. Crikey.
He's about 10 inch that way.
Nope. Not a problem.
Yeah. Everybody's probably going to lash me for not knowing the rule exactly, but I'm sure in Crown, if you send your opponent's ball, you basically lose a ball that end. They get to send both.
Well, it was his opponents in this, or sorry, it was his partner
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
case. But I do know what you mean. You know.
Mm.
If you're gonna bring those sort of rules in, it's all a bit silly.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
That's
common
big.
sense prevails.
It is. I mean, you can understand when they both
That's
sort of got the same colour balls, but in Crown, I know people have actually sent massively wrong colour balls to what their own are. So this is all the real ball. I hope it was his own. Right?
Yes, it was. Very good delivery.
About half an inch off and 6 inches at the back. Yeah, if you can disturb anything, that'll be great.
Going attacking. Oh, he's giving a real good look at this.
Well,
Oh, big
Yeah.
chance.
Bit of luck.
Big chance.
It's gone.
there
Oh,
goes.
it's
Albanese. Great ball, lad.
Depends who's lying the second. I think it's probably still red.
we'll have a look.
But look at the chance he's opened up.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, if Chris doesn't sort of get another one in,
Yeah, just
he's got a big
say
shot
that's
to nearly
best.
leave 4. Like I say, I think with a jack in the middle of the rink, I'm sure Chris will sort of chuck one in there, no question.
He's got one more after this as well.
Come on.
Recovery ball,
Get on an inch.
but needs to get it into. He wants it really to be inside the jack onto the green ones. That would be the perfect ball.
Alright, 6 in.
It's not bad.
Sidelines.
It's a
Don't get your
half protector, we would call that. It's really a draw shot for Billy. Drop the red down. You're line 4. If you get a big connection on it, you're line 5.
Yeah, it's a good bad one's what we call it.
Yeah, it's a
sort
good
of-
bad one.
Yeah.
Well, it's a decent chance. Certainly not an easy one, but it's a decent chance.
And again, I think if a Crown player was trying to play this shot sort of 2 foot a yard over, we could probably still be here tomorrow trying to get the right connection. But I'm sure Billy will give it a real chance.
Well, he's looking at it. He knows if he gets past the front one, he's close.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, look at this.
What a
Clear
shot,
it.
Billy Jackson.
Oh,
Oh, great shot.
Great ball.
That looks like he's made the 3.
Actually, a little unlucky that that red ball's not sort of gone round the other green one. He nearly would have left 5.
Big target.
3 shots confirmed by Alan Thornhill. Lovely ball. Perfect weight. Just to drop it down. It's left Chris in a bit of bother here because he could run at this, try and take all 3 out. He's a good driver, Chris Gale. He's a quick driver.
I think he will. I think he'll play it these days.
So the percentage shot is to come into it and try and damage or limit the damage that he's got.
Yeah, he's going on the backhand, so he must be striking. Yeah.
Yeah, he's into the packs, surely.
Oh, he's got something.
Oh, not the best result in the world. He actually held off a lot there and very nearly missed it. Down to 2. It's a nice little run they're on here.
It is, I mean,
Andy,
13-2 in
is that 2?
6 ends is amazing.
Yeah, 2.
After that 6 at the
4
first end,
end
yeah.
really is a key to it. 9 shots on the trot.
I think the key as well, there's been a lot of good bowls. I mean, I can only remember possibly Billy bowling 2 real short bowls when they were down, but other than that,
And he
real close
recovered-
bowling.
He recovered actually. the next
Yeah,
round as
absolutely.
well.
So, you know, it's not as if it's been a scrappy game, it's been a real good game to watch.
Big scores, averaging 3 shots an end.
Is that sort of commonplace? Or?
Well, no, it's not. We would normally look at the score like that and say, good grief, you know, you've got one pair's really fishing around somewhere, and then the other pair's going walkabout. But actually, both pairs are playing well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is very unusual to get the scores, but if you think about it, it's the big conversion shots that are making those scores.
Yeah. It's like we say, if our guys would have been at the back in this game, it might have been probably about 5-3 or something like that, you know.
The lads will be watching it and saying, this
Yeah.
is the way to play it.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, you know, Danny and Andrew have both led really well. Some
They
real
have.
good lead bowls as well.
They have, and they're setting up the heads and setting up the opportunities.
Absolutely.
Danny down again. And that's good leading. Very, very good leading. That really is. Yep, Andy after it.
Yeah.
He's very close to getting right to it.
Chris likes it.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
ball,
Chris.
Andrew.
Seriously think some of these guys need to have a little think about this, because most of them probably take a break during the winter.
I think the vast majority do, to be honest. I know a few of the guys, Wayne being a prime example, do actually play a lot of indoor bowls. As I said earlier, some of the guys in the past have struggled with the deliveries once they go back outdoors, come sort of March, April time. But I know a lot of guys do play do play the indoor game in the winter. I mean, for some reason we do have quite a lot of Crown Green winter bowling as well, like leagues and sort of one-day competition.
That's just madness, but
It is absolute madness. It's definitely not for me. I used to play when I was a lot younger, but no more. But you know, you can't knock people for doing it.
on the edge.
Oh, full bowl, Andrew, excellent. And it's finished good as well.
Well, yeah, there you go. You have 5 bowls within a few inches. One ball takes it away. That's good stuff. It's not so much even madness, but my goodness me, playing bowls in 2 degrees, you know, and potentially rain and everything else. Oh, come on.
It is, and you come home sludged up and freezing, and it takes 2 hours to get warm. And even if you win a tournament, you might get 30p and a cup of tea and something else. It's just rubbish. Much rather. And I think one of the things I find as well is sort of when you do start the proper tournaments in the early part of the season, you're a little bit stale as well. You know, it's sometimes nice to have a good break.
Yeah, doesn't do any harm sometimes.
No.
You know, for the top guys.
Well, everybody's different. A lot of top players do play in the winter and sort of carry it on. Like I say, Wayne's one of our top players. He plays indoor. Yeah, it might take him a week or 2 to get back into the swing of things, but then not long after that he's winning big tournaments on the Crown. So you know, it's each to their own. It's whatever you feel comfortable with.
Well, he's warm and comfortable indoors.
I'm sure he's warm and comfortable everywhere, Wayne. To be honest,
that's the thing. He's not having to go out there where the real men play bowling.
Exactly.
In the
yeah.
winter time in the snow.
No, exactly.
They're the real men.
Exactly, and they do. Some do as well. And you think, crikey, fair play to them.
Chance here for Chris to add another. Lovely line. Getting it called in by Andy.
Yeah.
He's not dancing up and around it, but he doesn't need to. Just let it arrive. You see, Billy's bowls are well scuffed and pretty old by the looks of them. There must be one of his own sets.
Yeah. Big end though as well. You know, if Billy doesn't get one round about, Chris and Andy could find themselves well back in this.
Oh dear, Billy. First one short. It's bad. Second one short. Wow, that's not clever. You know, the red guys are looking at a 3 possibly here. If they get a 3, they're really right back in it.
Well, they are, and I can guarantee a few of the Crown guys would look at this end now and think, well, surely needs to be striking at those 2 bowls to restrict the count of Chris and Andy. Whereas I guess you guys might be thinking just draw one in.
They would usually just draw one in.
Yeah, or he's done it already.
Be the normal form. In Australia, that wouldn't be.
No.
No, they'd take 3 balls out. Billy's missed it. He's overcorrected. That's the danger with playing offside the normal line.
Yeah.
And now Chris is thinking, oh, I should have been in that 3rd.
And I think there with Billy, you know, he's on the face of it, he's got quite a big target to at least get one of those out. As like you say, he's not safe. Chris really ought to get another one in there, and then it's in the balance at the last end.
Draw for 3. If he touches the jack, it's a bonus. He'll make it 4. The line's certainly more than good enough. It's all down to weight now. Needs to stop. Yeah, it's good enough.
That'd be alright.
Good enough
Yeah.
for 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be on the jack. Well, there we go. 11-13. Last end. It's been good stuff, and there's been the occasional lapse, but not often. That was just a bad end for Billy, really. Good end for Andy, but all his good work was taken away. Or sorry, for Danny, and then taken away by Andy.
I think that's one of the things that as Crowners we look at and think, you know, you're bowling 2 and 3 bowls win or a foot every end and potentially 2 and 3 down. It's like, well, what do you do? Obviously, when we're used to playing it, if we do manage to get them that close, more often than not you do count. So again, it's the psychological thing about it.
You have to keep your head on.
That's all now. That's all.
It's a decent
Very
starter.
good.
Yeah, great lead, Andrew.
I think the 2 guys are enjoying this because they're both playing well. They're enjoying it. You know, you can enjoy a match if you're both playing well. It's only if you're you're throwing them all over the park and rovers coming out to chase and round them up and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, it's
And again.
they try to keep Rover in the kennel as much as possible.
Yeah.
Not
I
far,
think
Danny.
it does help. I think having a good partner who's
2.5 feet.
sort of attentive
Either.
to your own game as well helps, and you can see both Billy and Chris are sort of making a real effort with the guy. So that's what we want, and you know hopefully that'll continue throughout the week in the pairs.
So they come down off the high line. Here it
Run again.
comes.
Yep. Well done.
Yep, another good ball in the head. That's a tough crowd out there. Barely got a clap. Gee.
I know
Oh, they're hard to please.
they are indeed. They are indeed.
Look better.
Hey there. That's all, mate.
There's a little bit.
Still 2. Anything in your lash, you good?
Green trying to protect the 2-shot lead. One really good ball might be sufficient.
Fast as you like.
It's tight.
Well, he
Short.
certainly narrowed it.
Not be happy with that, Andrew.
Again, that not
Be
a lot different,
possible.
mate.
Jack
Couple
goes
of feet.
forward, he's got it covered.
Oh, he's not happy, Danny. He's not
I
happy.
think that came out of the shoot a bit quick,
Come on, Chris.
to be truthful.
Nail us one.
Yes, it looked like it got
Right,
away
happy
from
with
him,
that, mate.
just out of the hand. He really would like that to stay on. It has, so well, it's
Might come in
okay.
useful. Might come in useful. Chris has obviously got to just try and get another one in the head, but again, what does Billy do? I mean, he could. Again, my thinking as a crown, you think, do I try and take both those balls out so they can't physically score? Enough.
He'll draw. Let's see where this one goes first,
Yeah.
because he knows that he only needs second shot, and that back ball is a
Yeah.
good target.
Yeah, yeah.
Grind a bit.
That's what Chris is aiming for.
Ball one, Chris.
Yeah, got
That's
him.
what Billy would have been. Now that might just change his mind.
Yeah, that's a real good ball.
Because that's a bit more awkward. He's still got a good chance of getting second on the draw. The thing is, if he takes 2 balls out and leaves one, Chris will just have another.
Yeah.
Because he's got a shed load of room.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if he's going to run at this, he's going to have to run for the jack, and that's what he's looking for on
Yeah,
the
he's
forehand.
done it. Got it away nice.
Wants the jack,
block.
got it.
Respot though. Respot. Yeah.
But the respot's got a yard in front, to the side.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Billy's belly laughing again. He loves
Yeah.
it. He loves it.
good strike by Billy.
Yeah.
Likes to play his forehand strike.
Good pace as well.
You know the green
Good
one's
pace.
large, the red one's dead.
Mixing with the crowd. Like I say, Billy will fancy his chances to at least restrict Chris to 1 on the respot.
Yeah, it's a 2-yard draw, that really. He needs something within 6 or 8 inches. If he
Yeah.
picks a jack up,
Break
it's a
it.
real bonus.
Break it.
Well,
Great
well.
ball.
Yeah, he's picked it up on the
Great
way
ball
past.
again by Chris.
That's what
Real
we
good
say.
ball.
We say he's picked it up on the way
Yeah, yeah.
past. But he was always in the area, and that was the important bit. Even if he'd have missed that or something, I might
Yeah.
think it was almost better to miss it.
Far as you
He'd
like,
have been
far.
about a foot behind.
Is Billy arriving? Don't think he is.
No,
Again, Billy.
Billy.
Oh, crikes.
Billy, that's about
3 at the
third
minute.
time in this
Don't
first
alter.
set that you've dropped one really low. After all the hard work of fighting back from 6-0 down to being in front.
Yeah, he'll have massive pressure on his last ball as well.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
Chris will nail this.
Mm.
Well,
Making sure he's on the wide line.
it's a puddle or something.
Needs to come down quick though. Oh, Chris. Oh.
All right, nice to
Chris,
light.
it's not close enough.
It's not, but it probably looks a lot closer on the mat for Billy, I would have thought. He's got it away quick.
Yeah, I almost see him getting his shoulder behind that one.
That means short.
Well, he gave it the extra push. I could tell from his delivery, because normally his delivery is very smooth. Now, how far will it travel past the jack? That's the key to it. Hard to tell for us, because if we're shooting these things sometimes on camera.
Chris just signalled potentially it's only one, but I'm sure they'll get the measures out. Need be.
The crowd are booing. You see what the guys are doing. The goals are kicked away, but we only assume that it's just the one. They're lovely if they told us.
Yeah. Tell him when you need him. What's he doing?
I have a feeling it was only the one shot. I think Billy just stopped in time, but be nice to see that score change over so we know what we're up to. Yep. First set to green, just the one.
I think a really good first set, like I say, probably a lot more high scoring than I would have expected, but a lot of good bowls there, a lot of good bowls by all four.
Chris will be disappointed actually in his last ball, because his second ball was good.
Yeah.
Any repeat on that and he would have secured half the set.
Yeah.
To be truthful with you, that would have been quite interesting. I think both teams played well enough to get something out of it.
Probably a fair result would have been a tie on that set, but as we know, sport's not always fair, unfortunately. And Danny's done the right thing by kicking on and making a real good lead.
Long enough, an hour and 10 minutes.
Don't feel like it though for me. I don't know about you, David, if it's dragging or not. It's going all right.
Well, we're used to 3 ball players.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that third ball makes a massive difference. You could probably knock 20 minutes off that,
Right.
which would be just on par. That would be about right for a pairs match.
Yeah.
But with the extra ball, you're expecting an hour to an hour and 10,
Mm-hmm.
depending how close the game is. And there was a lot of balls talked about there.
Yeah.
A few diagrams had to be drawn.
Yeah, field
all that
maps.
sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Well, it's a nice match to be involved in, because you sort of think, I wouldn't mind playing a game like that.
Exactly.
Even been out there and getting a bit of banter with the boys for it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's there. Oh, Andrew, I'll be happy.
No, he turned it back on us. Danny making his way back into the centre of the rink. Just needs to miss his own. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Good bowling. No doubt about that. Better with this one. Much better with this one, Andy. Dropping down. Yes, good ball. Really good ball. Skip will be happy about that one. Well, not exactly what Billy wanted to be playing short there. Anything behind the jack would have been very useful. missing the opportunity to trail the jack. Line one shot, but the danger's still there. Billy just looking to tap the jack if he can. Bring it to his green bowl, make the double. Certainly won't want to be in a situation of losing a big count, but he's close with this. Depends how the connection goes. Oh, there's a deep red one.
Backhand draw.
A little bit unfortunate just to bounce the jack. Four hands out of action now for Chris. Looks a bit under. Yep, didn't have the pace. A couple of short bowls here from Chris. He'll not be happy. He's left himself very vulnerable on the plant shot in the forehand. Well, he gets the outside edge, the green ball will push into the red, take it out. If he makes the gap, he'll get the red ball. If he gets his own ball onto the jack, he definitely will get the shot. So lots of options on the forehand. It's narrow, Billy, surely, unless you've got a lot of weight.
A lot of pace.
Oh, he has a lot of pace. I didn't think he was as heavy as that. Might just get enough of it.
Oh.
Well, it's a toucher he's pushed in as well. And what he's not happy about is the fact that it's left a lot of room for Chris with his last ball. But, you know, it's okay. It's 6 feet. You would still expect Chris to draw it. But he has to go out wide, and that means that you're not quite sure what it's like out there. Just making sure he's not too wide. It's soaked up with the weight. It's all about pace now, and it's looking pretty good. Just has to stop. Yep, stopped in time, one to red. A much more gentle stop.
Yeah, nice and steady after the last set.
Either way, bring it up or keep it back up here.
A lot of changes on the jack length. Both teams are playing pretty well, so they don't want to mess about too much. Brought up a little bit this time. There's always that risk of changing the jack and then put your own player off.
And I think that's where it's a little bit tricky in this situation, because you don't know your own sort of players, and unless you've had a good chat with them beforehand and or actually watched them play in the singles, then you'll not know what they're comfortable with. I mean, for us guys, you would hope that our partners will be comfortable with pretty much anything, but I'm sure they've got their own preferences over distance.
It's fluid during the match because it's very much dictated by how well your opposition are playing. You know, if your opposition start off with long jack lengths and play well at them, the one thing you do is shorten it. You know, it's as simple as that. It's just you've got a pretty well matched two pairs here, and they really don't want to mess about too much.
No, it is that risk that you take if you do change it, if you don't quite catch it and your opponent does, and then you're sort of snookered, where do you go then, kind of thing.
Change of jack length has made it a bit difficult for both players at the moment. Just take a little bit of correction.
No, let's just steady down. Not bad, mate. Steady, hold on. Hold on. In we go. That.
Yeah, both Danny and Andrew looked to have dropped off the pace slightly from what they played in the first set. That's good, Andrew.
One gets close, the other one gets closer.
Yeah, great ball from Andrew there.
Skips are happy people again.
That far, mate. Same as.
Nothing worse than a growly skip.
I can only
And
imagine.
we have a lot of growly skips, believe me.
Sure you do.
And the boys back home were saying, yeah, you're one of them. I might have been, on occasions.
Get down, Danny.
Allegedly.
Go on. All right.
So, starting to build up now. Be interesting to see how things develop now with the singles. We've got Nick Brett against Chris Gale, Billy Jackson, Connor Snato, and Wayne Ditchfield. What a big win that was over Paul Foster today. He's waiting for the winner of Simon Cowpe and Catherine Redknapp.
Yeah.
Hard enough to call that one, I would have thought.
It will be tough. I know Simon's put a lot of time in. One of our top players, of course, and I know Catherine's probably not overly pleased with how she played last night in the doubles, but I have had a couple of practice sessions with her and she's absolutely wrapped it, so it is difficult to judge which way that's going, and I know that bookmakers have got that fairly evenly priced, to be honest, so...
I'm not surprised at that, and he spent a bit of time in here with me, so he's had a chance to watch a lot of matches and just see how things go and shot selection. And like a lot of you guys, you're soaking it all up. You know, you're taking it all in, and the learning curve has been very steep.
It is, and I think I wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest, because it's a massively different environment to anything we're used to be honest. But I know Simon's one for, like you say, not only watching and learning off other players, but watching and learning what balls they're using, how they react, if they peg a little bit more.
Yeah, he was asking me, and he's changed.
Changed
the set that I use.
I'm sure I'll not be blaming you if he doesn't play as well. But no, he is a good student of the game, is Simon. So I'm sure when he actually does come to play, Catherine will have settled on her.
I think he'll be ready. Yeah,
I'm sure he will. Like I say, I think it's a game I'm really looking forward to, because you just genuinely can't pick a winner. I can't anyway.
Good effort here. Well, he's just looking for the extra bend off the ball, and he's got it. Needs to drop. That'll do. Well, Simon won the green. Certainly looks like won the green with that last ball. Billy likes a big swinging ball. He's not a supporter of a straight line ball. In fact, I don't think any of the top players are. That's why we've seen a lot of players out there looking for the stronger bias.
Yeah, and I think, in the Crown game, a lot of the times people play with slightly weaker balls or balls with less bias. So, as we've come indoors, we've just used those as a matter of course. But like I say, the guys who are playing later on in the week have had the opportunity to watch a lot of balls being sent, and I'm sure we'll see our guys who play with the keener balls that they know are going to do a lot more.
Just that by some distance, Chris. But looking to trail the jack through. He's one down. It's not a disaster. Certainly not at this stage. Early days in the second set. It's not easy for Billy to add another shot. This is certainly not a gimme on a spare one. Well, he's doing his best with it.
His best. Oh, Billy, great ball.
Very good. That was not an easy spare to make.
And again, Andy and Chris started well, but straight away, Danny and Billy have taken the initiative.
Yep, knocked back in the second end. Good stuff though. No, good bowling. It started off a bit loose that end and suddenly tightened up. And the Leeds got in with their last bowls. Matt goes back to what we have been playing.
Yeah, I think Danny prefers a longer length as well. In his game against Nicky Brett, he played it well, and in all the practice sessions he's had, he's played really well over a distance, so no surprise to see him continue with that.
Yes, he got out of the blocks pretty quickly actually, and in that match. And the score in the first set was 9-4. But to be truthful with you, it was a much tighter game than that. He had to chase it a bit the last couple of ends, and that's when you lose maybe a 2 and a 3. But he was sitting well at one stage.
I think all our guys were, to be honest, in the first set. We said it yesterday. We've not done ourselves any disservices. We've all played well, but it's just the odd loose end that we might be tend to chuck in against you guys where you don't really have any, and that's where we've came a cropper. And I think the difference in the game today with Wayne and Paul, Wayne's not really had a bad end, to be fair. So
you're always expecting that one end. It's whenever you go out against players that are maybe just not the same, and you sort of think, we'll wait for the one end to pick up a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, and I think there were one massive end in that game where I think Paul was stood 4 and Wayne had his last ball. He had a good connection to basically save 3 and only be 1 down, whereas if he misses his 4 down, loses a set, potentially lose a tiebreaker, and he's another one sort of sat at the sides with us. But fair play to him, he pulled it off, and he marches on.
Getting caught. Yeah. It was pretty decent actually. Yes, it'll be interesting to see if we get a bit of a noisy crowd in for that game.
Yeah.
Irrespective of who wins to play against the Beast. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a quarter-final where there'll be a lot of home support.
Well, I think they will, and it's one of those, like we were talking when Andrew Cairns was playing Connor Stinato yesterday. Connor's a young lad. Obviously, Catherine's a young girl as well, so it's how she'd react to any sort of crowd interaction, let's say. And if Simon happens to win and plays Wayne, Simon and Wayne have had some major tussles over the years in ground, sort of big major finals as well that have sort of gone either way. So that'll be an interesting game in itself.
Lovely end from Danny. Lovely end. This would be an opportunity to have a go here and open this up.
He's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Oh, he's close.
Trying again, Andrew.
Jack.
Oh, he's
no.
cursed.
Oh, come on. Horrible result.
The cap's been loosened.
It
Might
has
not
been
have come off,
loosened,
but I think
yeah.
it's been loosened slightly.
Yeah, it has been loosened on that one. It certainly looked like it was going to get the jack or even the 2 balls, and that's what he's saying on the way down. Oh, come on, Andy. Throw the cap down. We wanna see it.
Yeah.
I think if a skip gets a bad result, it'll come off. As you say, it has been loosened.
Okay, he's just getting ready for the next few ends, I think.
Door wide open for Billy Jackson to drop another one in. Tidy. Dropping down a side toucher. Well, Chris will have to make up his mind. Does he go, or does he try and get something close?
It's one of those who's got to bowl a real good ball to even save or get second, so whether he's tempted to drive, I'm not sure.
He's got 3 balls at it. He's got a good target there. Even if he moves one of the reds, especially the one on the forehand, that will open the door up a little bit for him. 2 balls is slightly different, but with 3 balls you've got that extra one to recover. Should be down a little bit of pace on this.
Yeah, looks like he's setting himself.
It's holding, but a bit narrow. Looked narrow out of the hand. Stayed that way.
It's just whether now he continues with that shot, because if he does the same and takes his own shot ball out again, he's in a world of pain.
Now, Billy, you don't need to come up. Steady yourself.
Yeah.
The head hasn't changed.
Get back. Get back.
You're running off the mat, Billy. You see, if you'd have stayed back on that, he'd have been okay. But he's got put in a decent protector. He got away with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure he meant to put it there, but it's not fell in a bad hole.
Short there, Andy.
Still near 3 though. If he's playing the 4 and he must be drawing. He's angled to draw.
Yeah, you can see his foot slightly shaped towards the draw.
Try and get a decent 3rd shot in.
Well, I think Andrew likes it.
If he makes the gap, it would be a
He's
brilliant
there.
ball.
What a great effort.
Oh,
What a great effort that is.
super stuff. Backhand for Billy. Little touch on his own ball. That's what he wants. Move the jack back a foot or so. He'll make 3, maybe 4 if he comes with it. You'd have to be very unlucky to touch the red down and not, and give the shot away. I just can't see that. Forehand doesn't really offer anything. Come on, Billy, play the backhand, touch the ball.
But again, I think it's good from Billy that he's actually consulting Danny on the shot, asking for his opinion and stuff, whereas I don't know if some of the flats might think, well, I don't know what they're talking about, I'll just do what I want kind of thing, but
No,
it's good. It's
no,
good
they don't
from
do
Billy.
that, and I think really not only is it rude, but it's also a situation if you're not working as a team,
Yeah.
you're working as 2 individuals, and that's
Yeah.
not clever.
No, and you can see, like I said earlier, I think both these pairs have had quite a lot of dialogue between themselves, so it is good to see that they are working as a team.
Sometimes we see it in 4s where the back end, third and skip ignore the front end, and that's not good.
No.
Especially at representative level, or they ignore their comments. And I say, well, look, I'll listen to every comment and then take it all in and play my own shot.
And then decide I'm right.
Exactly. So but there are times when you just don't see something. That's all. Billy's down on the forehand. He'll be looking to get onto his own ball and drop back on the red to make the 3. That's what he's hoping for.
Big effort.
Yeah, he's very, very close to it. I didn't fancy it. I thought the backhand was a better shot. Just a little nudge on the ball would have moved the jack for 3. I thought it was a better percentage shot. But he'd already drawn one on the forehand, so he probably thought, oh, I can get close again. Yeah, he's looking at this, whether it's 1 or 2. Same sort of shot for Chris. He was certainly making sure he was arriving, but that's just going to kill it. Measure for second. Much steadier set. I think actually both teams will probably be happier with a steady start. Never like to see big counts bandied about the place. No.
2 shots, Jackson and Barlow.
Two shots it is. Possibly why Billy played the forehand instead of promoting the ball onto the jack with the backhand shot. He knew he was lying a couple.
Backhand, if you want 30 and a half feet.
Big backswing. He hasn't really adjusted that.
No, and it's like we were saying earlier, a lot of us have got a big backswing, but it's just slowing it down, which then brings its own problems. Too many things can go wrong, kind of thing.
It's sort of still quick going back, but you have
Yeah.
to slow down the velocity coming forward
Yeah.
again and the pendulum effect.
You can see Andrew there, he's still got his big swing, but he's actually relatively slow going back to try and keep that same pace all the way through.
Again.
But again, it's what you're happy with doing. I'm sure Danny's put enough hours in to be comfortable with how he's doing things, and he's playing sort of well enough to say that's the right thing for him to do.
Speed's perfect, mate.
And have faith in the ball that will come back, so push it out the next time. Going a bit on the narrow side as well.
Oh yeah, he's lost this one, Andrew.
Yeah, pace is super, mate. Just that a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Good. Come on, mate. Going down. Oh, and drop.
Just needs a drop off the
Pull
ball.
it out.
Yeah, that's
the
pretty
ball.
good. A lot of club players would have moved onto the forehand there and played the percentage shot and just dropping in the bowls because they can be a bit heavy. Billy was happy to stay to Danny, just play away at the backhand. Slight adjustment. That's still a handy ball round there. Trying to see what Billy does here because that shot's still available on the forehand, but the trouble there is he's taking the jack into the red balls and he'll not be happy about that. That's why he's playing the back. Either side of the red ball will be good. Ooh, he's pushed through it a bit. It's an old set of balls he's using. By the looks of it, they're pretty dull.
Just the pace, kept it out
Quite
with
like that
that's all.
actually. Roughed up set of balls. So they're not too shiny.
Should see some of the crown ones, crikey.
Yeah, lumps out of them probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've an old set of Drakes like that. And I still go back to them every now and again just for nostalgia, and they're cracked all over the place. And chips out of them, and I just won't get them refurbished because I've moved on, but
Yeah.
I just like the feel.
Keep the effort.
No, that's right. A lot of players don't have them reader up for that very reason because they just like how they feel. Oh, crikey.
Good effort, Chris. Touch the jack. Handy place. That'll be Billy's target.
Come on down. Come on down. Far as you like, Paul.
Billy, you're not reaching.
Can't change it really. Jack would be
Could
lovely.
be problematic. He trails this jack by a foot or so, he'll lie 4.
Well, come on.
Got a chance with this one.
Bit of by effort.
Just needs to come down off the front
Use it.
pole.
Use it.
There it is.
Hold
Yep.
Oh yeah, good ball.
Good enough. Didn't get the little stretch of the jacket he wanted. It's good enough for the shot, and at the moment when you're 4-1 down, you'll take it. Jack in the ditch. Well, still pretty good. Bowl out, you have to make darn sure you don't move that jack too far. Well, Billy hasn't missed much on the forehand drive. He's been very accurate with it.
You can just see that's probably his main concern, that if he does get the bowl and just touches the jack to his left hand side, it then gives Chris an almost easy 3.
And I'm not sure what the respots look, fairly equidistant. Yeah, he's played it very controlled. Close to the jack with this. Very close to it. Wants to get it nice and clean. That's it. In the ditch, he's buried it. He's followed in as well, which is the important bit. That guarantees the shot. Lies a couple. Boys are giving him a bit of stick at the corner. I think Nicky Brett's up there, Wayne Ditchfield's up there, and You're probably saying to Billy, you're not normally as good as this on your weight shots. And
Yeah.
he hasn't missed one, really. He's playing them very well. Do well to get, just drop in for second here.
Yeah, good save it.
Yep. About as good as he could make it. He's certainly never going to save the shot. Yep, there it is, confirmation, 1 to green. Never really like to write it down until I change it. Just in case there's one little straggler back there that we didn't see. Nice steady start though. The boys in green. 4 ends, 5-1 on front. Looking comfortable, I have to say. Billy's made very good use of his running balls.
No, perfect lead.
Excellent start. I think we've had the jelly baby mice in.
They all disappeared. Not guilty, by the way.
No, my jelly babies are rapidly going down.
My sparkling water is as well.
Everybody said, no one said, you can't be serious. It is, folks, he arrived, and I couldn't believe it, with sparkling water. Callum was getting into my jelly babies earlier.
Oh, he would do.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there's any left.
favourite, he said.
One of, well, I'll tell no lies when he's got a packet of Haribos in our caravan. So.
Has he really?
Yeah, he's not sharing those with
He's
anybody.
a big child.
He's a very big child. You can't take him to any restaurant unless they do Happy Meals and such like.
2 really good balls by Danny. I think Chris will be tempted here. Get Andy to drive this. If you've got that skill in your team, you might as well use it. That's all. It's going to be hard to draw that.
Andrew's driven well all week, from what we've seen. Oh,
Didn't get it away terribly.
is he
well.
going to use his own?
No, well, he's going to move it out of the way, and that's okay. That seemed to hit the ground first and then bounce off.
Yeah, and I think it's a problem a lot of us guys have had because the balls are so much bigger than what we used to.
Yeah.
If you do play with weight, you tend to drop them before you actually get them away, and that's why you see quite a lot of them bouncing. Which is why I think a couple of the guys have tried to use size 2s to just try and sort of counter that, but
Size 2.
yeah, a little bit curly.
Kiddie balls.
Pretty much.
That's what we called them.
Yeah.
I think most of our guys just would go for a 4 or a 5, you know. Very, very few would even use a 3, to be honest, simply because they bend so much.
Yeah.
That's all.
And again, because they don't often play the full weighted drive, then they wouldn't have that as an issue. They're used to just sort of sending them nicely up the rink.
Good stuff here. Drops in front.
Oh, it's a real good ball.
Yeah, that's a really good. And
Oh, it's fell backwards. How often do you see that?
Now that is very rare.
Crikey.
But I'll tell you what, it's really worked in his favour this time. A little shake of the head there with
Yeah.
Billy as well. I just wonder, is there a seam anywhere close to that? If there is, then that would be a good reason for it. Quite often you get onto a seam, it does fall in strange ways, but take it all while you can.
Absolutely.
Chris playing controlled weight. Now he's getting back now. Ball first, then the
great
jack.
shot, great shot.
Oh yes! Second ball and out into the open. That was a hard shot to play.
Played it really well.
Needed that. 5-1 down, 4 against. Just needs to hurry up a bit. It's dropping short, and it's a bit of a let off.
I'm not sure it is, to be honest.
Last full yard, is it?
No, 20 inch.
I think your balls also are lighter weight than ours, like 210 or something like that, 212.
Yeah, the average is probably about 210. Some of the guys play with 212s, but I'd say one of our 212s is very similar in weight to a size 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the size sort of 3 heavy that some of the guys have been practicing with would feel like medicine balls at times.
Try a 5.
Oh, crikey. I have to use 2 hands.
And try a 7.
Really?
In the old days, I said the old days, it's a bit unfair. People can still use 7s if they get them snapped.
Right.
But you don't see them very often.
No.
I think I have a size 7 at home somewhere, a set of 4 lurking around. But the balls that years ago I used international were all size 6.
Right.
So
I think we
never dropped below that.
No. I think we need one of those rails that they have at Tenpin Bowling to send those down.
Billy, have you made the correction? Here it comes. Yep, just about, I think. Just about sneaked in. For years I played with 5 heavyweights, and they really do feel solid, you know, on the green. A ball hits them, the chances are the ball will just fall off them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're very hard to turn over, let's put it that way. But most of the guys have gone to a 4 now, you know, a 5 standard.
And again, it's one of those when you're sort of used to that slight difference between potentially a 4 and a 5.
It's massive.
Yeah,
You know, it's only a few ounces, but
it feels
it
massive.
just
Yeah.
feels massive. Chris, you're going down for a bear jack.
Oh, is he going to use that one? Count?
Yeah.
He is as well.
Get out of here.
Crikey.
Yeah,
Oh, he's playing
come
to
on.
crowd as well.
Just the one, he says.
No shame.
None whatsoever.
Nice to see Chris playing to the crowd.
Yes. I think when you get a lucky one like that, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Billy's coming down having a little
I know Andy says that, but mine said that way too.
Take it all while you can. It'll work against you occasionally. Needed it though. Certainly didn't want to lose a couple of shots there.
Yeah, because on the spot we were winning anyway. Get up. When you're off. Yeah, roll. Forget it, mate. Come on, come on.
It's been a while since Danny's put his first ball that far away. He's been very consistent, not to say, in this match. Mandy's played well. Used his drive on occasions. He missed one, but he's been pretty good. That's a decent one to get past.
With this, mate. Yeah, you got it.
It's about perceptions as well. It's funny about that, you know. So you were saying about quite often in pairs in the crime that they would put their perceived better player at skip. It doesn't really work like that on the flat, funny enough. On the flat for us, it's not a matter of of whether you're the better player or not. It's who's the better drawer normally, and who's the better shot player.
See, and I think at Crown it's almost who's a better striker.
Yeah.
Go to the back.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like that with us, you know. It's but the shot player normally would skip, and quite often we know the players that are really good leads, and they're they're like gold. They really are.
Yeah, and that's I think that's again one of the things that we need to try and pick up from this week, is just to try and get used to it. You know, how if we're playing with a flat guy, what do they prefer? If they've seen us play, how are we sort of leading, or what sort of shots we're making? And it'd be interesting to see what they think we ought to do, really. As I say, from last night when both black guys went at the front, tonight they've both gone at the back. So, you know, tomorrow night might be different again. It might get one of each. I don't know how that would work out, but
Don't think so.
no.
After this, the way the guys have played today
Yeah.
at Leeds, it's played really well. A massive contribution to this game.
Yeah.
Danny just a little bit unlucky. He's tucked the jack in behind Andy's ball. Chris has got a target of the green one to reach. Dropping on the short side, but it's not easy for Billy the way this sits.
Probably a little bit short to reach the ball.
Forehand will trail the jack, but it's a very thin target.
That's four.
You seen that ball of bowl?
I'll throw one at him. I've not seen my man, he's a magician.
The crowd are telling Billy to strike at that short red ball and sort of make a plant and get a ball out of it.
I think a ball fell down or something. I made that play. With a 7-ball plant or something on there.
Crikey. Just imagine that coming off.
There you go. 5 different things.
That's a funnel.
And then Jack moves.
I don't think he'll play it, to be
No, I
honest.
don't think so. Not if you're on the backhand. You're not going to take the advice of the crowd. Don't be silly.
No,
Yeah.
not at this time of night anyway.
Close to this. Very close. Very close.
Oh, what a ball.
Why bother hitting things into the
Yeah, exactly. It's a great ball.
on the green? Oh, come on, Chris. He's coming up. Have a look. It's 10-9. We're not even getting through to the final of the last 2 ends on this one.
No.
This goes to a tie break. We're going to midnight.
I might need more sparkling water down then if that's the case.
However you
I
see
might
it.
need more than that at the end of this. You can do the honours.
Yeah.
I'll be on the second one. Don't worry.
Oh, he's played that shot.
He's looking for the inside gap for the green ball on the green ball for 3. He's moved it out of the way. That's okay. That opens up the opportunity on the other side now.
Get both those green balls out.
Billy's lying the shot, but he knows he needs to get another one in there because the 2 balls will disappear.
Yep.
Yep, trying to come around what we discussed the last time for him, and that is to just make his way through the roll of balls under the jack. If he pulls this, it's a brilliant ball.
Oh, he has a really
That's good. That's really good. That means that if you take the 2 balls out, you still line the shot. It's a really good close ball. That's an excellent ball from Billy Jackson. It's on the blind side as well. It's not easy to get to. I don't want to damage limitation here for Chris. He has to be a little bit careful.
Could he sort of try and follow Billy's ball in there and resting it to win? Or?
Hard shot. Difficult shot. Everything has to be right. Very little margin of error. Much bigger margin of error on the weight shot in the backhand. Yeah, controlled weight on the backhand, trying to get down to the 2 balls. Bit of work to do this one. Yeah. It was the right shot to play, but he always went wide out of the hand. Billy's line 2 here. He has to be very, very careful. Wouldn't be surprised if he just takes these 2. There's a draw on the backhand through the gap. Just tuck the jack a little bit. The only danger in the forehand is if he touches his own ball and it falls back onto the jack. So that's why he's staying away from it. Makes sense.
Like I say, if he could even find that gap and touch the jack, he makes 4.
He's
It's
making
an amazing
4.
ball.
As long as he's not too heavy, and that's maybe what's scaring him a little bit. Can't blame him.
Settle for those.
Two will do. When you're 7-2 up with 3 ends to go, it's a nice position. And 15 ends played, and Andy and Chris have only scored on 6, which is surprising considering the standard of play. They've been playing really well, and only scored in 6 ends. Now out of that 15,
I think in a way Andy and Chris will be slightly disappointed because they've seen Billy bowl probably 3 or 4 real sort of bad bowls, but then some real good ones, you know, whereas the other 3 guys have been fairly consistent all the way through the game.
he's popped down a couple of very short ones, but
Yeah.
with 3 balls he's recovered very quickly, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And, but he's played a couple of really big conversion shots, and the drives have worked out as well.
Yeah.
I think Danny's just shaded Andy probably towards the end of the second set and into this set.
Yeah, I think Danny's, especially leading to his own jack, is been fairly consistent. I think he's only bowled short once. More often than not, he's been sort of within 6 inches towards the back, so he can't sort of complain at that at all.
Must be hard for the Crown guys when you see a ball like that and think, well, I have to go 7 feet wide and allow it to bend back.
It is, especially on a flat surface. You know, we used to probably bigger swings than that on our ground when you can sort of see
Use
the
the crown as
undulations.
well.
Yeah, but on a flat surface, when you think you've got to put it so wide, I mean, you could almost say if we were using our own sort of ground green bowls, you'd be sort of cutting the line in half really and aiming probably 3 or 4 feet wide. Whereas, like you say, in here you're aiming 6 and 7 feet wide, and it's just getting used to forcing yourself to do that and trusting the bowls to actually come in and do enough.
Commentators not now, just told me he'd been playing well.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
He'll tell me about that later, I'm sure.
Well, he hasn't had too many of those.
No.
Neither of them have, to be fair. Too many loose ends with the way the 2 leads have played, but this will be all about the skips now.
I think there's a pattern emerging with his 7th end again.
Good old end 7. Always. Billy scores here, and really, I think that will be the end of it. I just can't see Chris and Andy coming back. 6 shots and 2 ends.
Well, they'd need 7 really, wouldn't they, if they needed
Yes,
to
of
get
course.
that extra choke to win the set, that particular set. But I suppose they might take out from the fact that
It's
there was
possible.
6 and 2 fours, but very unlikely, as you say.
Billy using the strength of the ball and the bias just to drop it round. We're so used to that. Just have a little bit of faith in pushing the ball out. And some of the greens we play on Australia where you're actually aiming into the 2nd, 3rd rink away. You're pushing the ball potentially 12, 15 feet out and then letting it come back 21 second stuff and throw a bit of a wind in there and it all becomes very difficult. That's New Zealand, quite often it can happen.
Right.
Commonwealth Games, Brisbane, 20.5, 21, one of the greens.
Really?
And then at night time we went on to floodlights, and it dropped down to 13.
And do they have the sort of sidings in as well?
No,
there, or-
whole green.
Right.
Whole green.
So-
Everybody was playing 4 full-size greens. All the countries.
Crikey. But it's a different dimension, like I say, to be able to force yourself to put them that wide.
Yeah.
Hoping and expecting them to come back. It is a big thing.
Well, it's a discipline also.
It is.
Billy, can you make the gap? You haven't got the weight to make the gap. This is a really ropey end for both teams. I'm surprised Billy played that because he's got a backhand with the ball coming in on the green. Chris has to negotiate it, but it's far enough away to be able to come around it by at least a foot and still bend back in time. Here it comes. Needs to stop though. Looking good. Oh yes, all the way.
Oh, great ball by Chris again.
Yeah, that's what Billy's doing now. I thought he might have done that with the last ball. He's left it to the final delivery. He's on a good line. If he can make it past the front one, past that, he's going to draw the shot. Oh yes. Make it harder for him.
Great ball without touching anything as well.
Somebody likes that. Well, ball, lad.
Quite rightly as well.
It's been a while since Billy's been a lad, but yeah, fair enough. Good stuff.
It is
good
good
bowling.
stuff.
You just have to drive this, try and get the edge.
And I presume we can still nominate in the pairs as well as we can in the singles.
Absolutely.
So whether he will or not.
Yeah, well, I think if it goes on the respot, he's in pretty good position. So
Right.
let's see. That's why he's playing it. Oh, that's going to get caught surely.
Is he using it though?
No.
Oh.
Well, that is not going to be easy now. 2 ends to go. 6 behind. Well, effectively 7 behind. It's just Billy coming back and Danny after losing a 6 somehow or other just seems to have spurred them on in this match.
It is a massive comeback, and you don't know whether Andrew and Chris might have just felt as soon as they got that first 6, it's sort of plain sailing happy days. You just don't know. But fair play to the guys. They've come back and they've had a massive run.
They got it back quickly as well.
Mm.
4th end, 2 fours.
Yeah.
Mid-level scores. That's unusual in the game, I have to say.
No, it is, and it's now I think Danny and Billy will just try and keep it tight. I'm sure nothing silly, no fireworks. Just at very worst, just restrict the other guys to 1 or 2.
Yeah, good down. Go back.
Good opener by Danny. Normal service. Resumed.
Hang on. Hang on.
And he's
Yeah.
after it.
No, the ball, Andrew.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Realistically, they need probably a 4 here to give them a decent shot.
Just a
That's
massive
it,
hassle,
Danny.
isn't it? 2 ends
Yeah.
on the trot to get a 4 and a 5 or more. It's
Down, mate. Great effort.
Good effort again. Useful place. Oh, Billy will be just having it in his mind to close this down as much as possible. If he gets a single, that's enough. They can
Drop
shake
down.
hands, but even losing 1 or 2,
Drop
he'll
again.
not worry too much.
Drop again.
Another good ball by Andy.
Yep.
that's come nice as well.
Same thing, mate.
Wouldn't
Get
worry.
over that.
Normally earlier in the match you'd have said take them off, but not now. Not
No.
at this stage. Don't need to. Keep drawing. Giving this a shot.
Try it.
This is just
Ooh,
a bit
he's
too
pacey.
pacey, yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
Have a lot, mate. Stay there.
Probably just subconsciously thought I just
Right.
need to play a touch over and rest on one of those, like you say, rather than keeping it that bit tighter than you'd expect.
That's the whole idea. Just don't go chasing.
Hmm.
Don't need to.
No.
He's down again. Good memory on this end. Oh, that's three beauties.
Ah, great balls out. Well,
He can't do anything more than that to give
No.
his skip the opportunity, can he?
but I guess it almost forces Billy potentially to strike, like you say, earlier in the game.
think he will,
Definitely.
Not with the camera.
Pretty much forces his hand.
That's a brilliant three balls.
That is fantastic.
Look back and say, well, I can play this game. Well, we know you can play this game, Andy.
Yeah.
You just don't play enough of it. That's all. I want to get you guys on the flat.
Yeah. And I think, especially on the sort of outdoor flat greens, won't be that far removed from
No,
it.
no, it wouldn't be.
Playing on a crown, so while the tactics are still quite different, it gives us, again, the yard through shot is more akin to what we would normally play.
Billy playing the backhand because he
Oh,
knows it will
he's-
stand up.
Oh, it's drifting though.
Yeah, it's off centre a little bit.
Mm.
And if you play down that backhand, it normally stands up on that line. Comes up under a little bit of pressure here. It's be interesting to see if Chris decides to put one in front or not.
I would have thought 18-inch 2-foot short ball ideally in the way.
He'll want to pop another one in. He'll be thinking to himself, chance of picking up a 5 or a 6 here.
It's one of those, it's the same at the crown. They're not going to hit them all the time, so you may as well just keep banging them in.
Oh, Chris. Come on.
Down on a lovely line. It's all about weight here if he gets inside the green one.
Right down. Inside it.
There it comes.
And again.
And he's tucked in behind as well. He hasn't widened the target. Oh, Billy. Big weight this time. Got it. Right, Billy. That kills it now. Well
Yeah.
done, Billy. Good ball. Good strike.
And in a way, Chris was a little unlucky there to get the touch on Andrews because it put him right behind the others.
1
So
yard.
if Billy did hit one of the front ones, it was always going to clear most of them
Oh,
out.
you meter.
Well, we don't know what the debris is below the jack. But certainly one red in front. Anything is, Chris is drawing this. Let's see how many's in it. We think it's only the one.
As you want. Yeah, I missed that anyway.
He really wants to miss that ball.
Not so bad.
Not bad. Not bad, but you expect Billy to draw close with this one.
Left on. Far as you like, bro. Far as
Did he
you
arrive in?
It's one of those ones, he's done this a few times where he's dropped it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
After playing a really good ball.
Mm.
Same
Oh,
ball.
he'll not be happy
2
with it.
down, he's going to lose a 3. It's not a disaster at this stage.
It's not a disaster, but he had a massive chance to kill the game there, so I'd be disappointed, Billy, with that.
You want to kill the game.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be going down again for another one.
No.
Come on.
Certainly looks like he's going to be dropping
good enough.
inside for 3. Yep, same ball as his last.
Yeah, a little unlucky there, Chris and Andy, 6 fairly good bowls and only ended up with a 3 count, so
I wouldn't have expected him to count all 6 when they were grouped
No.
like that. You really want the holes and gaps so balls can go through. And they're all clumped together like
Yeah.
that. You guys would kill those all day. That's exactly what Billy did.
No, like I say, a couple of the bowls, one of Andrews, one of Chris had just glanced off one of the green bowls and sort of put it even close to make a bigger target, so a little unlucky, whereas if they miss, it's, as you say, it probably leaves a couple of gaps to go through.
Still, 4 shots needed. A good old competition, this one. These two pairs have been they've played a lot of good stuff, I have to say. There's been very few really bad ends, if any.
Yeah, I think how the draws come out, they've been really evenly matched, definitely. Billy likes this. Yeah, great ball by Danny there.
Close. Very close. Oh, what a flag.
Oh, Andrew, it's amazing. What a ball. You almost don't want it to end.
Well, it's been a very enjoyable game.
has, yes.
That's the thing, you know. We're rattling on now, what, over 2 hours, and to be truthful with you, didn't really notice the second hour very much.
No.
It's been an interesting battle, an intriguing game. A lot of good shots played, a lot of good draws, but there's been hits and there's been controlled weight and.
I think that's it. A bit of everything. It's not just been a complete draw fest or just a lot of striking. Absolutely everything. And all, as we say, all 4 players playing really good balls at different times.
It's all the good bits that are on the flat, really. I've been here in this match. And the big slap on his leg.
Is the cap coming off?
Go on, Andy.
Take it
Put
off.
the cap
Come on,
off.
Andrew.
Go on. We want to see it. Yeah, he's not doing it.
No. He'll probably take it off when he shakes hands, though. He's very respectful, Andrew, of his opponents. And he.
I'll give him some grief, but we didn't see the hat.
Yeah.
Cover ball looking, just trying to drop inside. That's okay there. Still a little squeeze on the jack needed, and it's still possible.
Might even play on Danny's closest ball, perhaps, to
Rest off it, move the jack across.
he's not without options, Chris.
Yep. You can make a 3 here. And if you start line a 3, a few holes and gaps. Needs to get down and quick. Yeah, extra weight just holding it. Now, Billy, wide for cover or drop inside between the first and third bowl. Can't do it. You've got the wide cover at the back. And what you're looking at really, Chris, is that wide draw. The difficulty with that is that if he rests the green ball out, there's 3 down. So
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be too far back with this. Wants another one in the head. 3rd shot's ideal.
Yeah. I think he's got a big advantage as well, Billy, with the final ball at the end. I think he's put it down there.
Yes, he was actually looking to beat that ball he's just passed.
Right.
Not bad, but it's not perfect. It's leaving Chris the opportunity still to rest the ball out. Is he taking too much weight?
Possibly.
Oh, he had to wait all the way. That was perfect weight actually, he just needed to be a little bit wider. You can see that building up for the ball to go across, or the jack to go across for 4.
Absolutely, yes. Like you said, Billy probably wants to just come
Well,
inside those 2.
That's the key to it, he wants 3rd shot.
Has he reached?
That's pretty good. Pretty good, to be fair. Depends on the space between the ball and the jack. If the space between the ball and the jack is 2 inches, then he's got enough room for the jack to travel past it. If it's an inch away, it'll squeeze out to the green ball. We can't see from this angle, but Chris will be aware of the fact that he needs the jack to move. Just lower that a little bit, it would be perfect. We can get a look at it. Nicky Brett in the background there, looks like he's cuddled up for the night.
He looks miles away, sat next to Wayne. Looks like he's sat about 4 rows behind him.
Exactly, it's just he's looking to see what the situation is. Does he play it harder and squeeze the jack all the way through? Difficult choices here because none of it's easy. There is a shot to squeeze the jack all the way through past the 2 green to the reds at the back. I just can't see him making a 4 out of that.
No, like I say, even if he does, you know, Billy's got the last ball to try and at least save enough to make sure they don't lose the set.
Anderson the backhand? I wonder if he nominated it for the kill if he's playing on the
Possibly.
backhand.
His feet look fairly straight, so he might be.
Yeah, must be.
He's got it as well.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, good hit. Good strike. Great ball.
Take them back, guys.
Yeah.
Really good strike. Clean as a whistle. Skips can decide. Doesn't really matter. It's up to them where they want to go. Green happy enough to stay down here, so they're going to leave it at that. That's fine. There's no problem, as long as they both agree.
An interesting one, you know, when Chris is actually holding shot there, still elected to strike to kill the end. So it's
Have to. They need 4. Thing is, he's used up a strike now, so that's the end of that.
Good hit, Christopher. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I think my last one is just enough there.
Yeah.
Because you were going to stick in there.
I don't think I've counted with my own.
Off we go again.
3, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I've got to the back again.
Not sure if I would have played it this way again.
Yep.
This
That's
is
one
the
out.
way that Andy and Chris got a
Stop.
very good opening 3-4 ball. Well, he had to strike his way out of trouble.
absolutely,
I've
yeah.
been inclined just to play the balls down again. Say, we'll play it in the same direction.
And who gets to decide?
Well, the 2 skips can decide. If they disagree, then the balls come back.
Right, right.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, right.
Danny's played his usual 4 or 5
down
foot
now.
over on the backhand coming this
Get
way.
down.
Been ribbing about it all week.
Good again.
And once again, Andy's in on it. So,
Two of them.
if you think about it, too late now. The end is in progress, and it'll be all about trying to get a close ball. That's all boys and green are looking for. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? Just wanted it to swoop in. Not bad there.
Good saving ball, I
Keep
think.
going. Up.
And now trotting up.
And again. Give it on a bit. And again.
Well, he's in the area. That's all he needs to be, just in the area.
Like that.
A little bit short. Not
Yeah,
bad.
there, mate.
Good head for him. Good opportunity. He's given his skip everything he can. This might be a runner. Nope, sticking with the draw. I thought Billy might have been
Come on,
tempted
Danny.
there just to get into those balls.
Come on, mate. Run this, you win it. Come on,
Oh,
Dan.
you're
Really
close,
likes it,
Come
Danny.
on,
Yeah,
Dan.
he's
Boy.
close.
Well played.
Good ball. Good ball. Well done. Why bother going on the backhand all the time when you can put them there?
You can tell him that.
I will tell him. Don't worry.
Chris probably needs to play the backhand to edge the ball through. He can't really afford to move the jack, because if he does that, he takes all his own balls out of play. So he can't be jack on this. He's looking for the balls to reach to. Strong in what I thought, because he's trying to get the green ball through the gap, so that he keeps his own 3 balls in play. Still there, still possible. But he'll just be playing in the crowd. This just bang balls in, crowd the head. That's a nice wide line.
Far as you want, Bob.
All he needs is good weight for this now. Didn't arrive. Still there for you, Chris. You have to play it. No choice. This looks better.
Get on. Get on. Get on.
More of a chance with this one.
Round, is he?
Oh, he's going under. Just needed a little bit more weight. Probably enough weight to edge the ball off, but not enough to punch it through. That ball needs to move a yard. Really wider, more weight. Look for position. Don't really think he'll need it, to be truthful. This is going to be a massive ball, Chris, to push this through.
Well, it will. It's one of those you could have quite a few goals at trying to pull it off to perfection. You know, these guys, it's what they do. They play it a lot more than we do. So
Yeah, but this is still a
yeah,
you know, a 2 out of 10 shot.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
yeah.
Really, 2 out of 10. To get it absolutely right, the best way to get this is green bowl onto the red bowl at the back. Goes on through and takes the other green one out, and you stay in for 4.
Mm.
Well, that's the perfect shot. Correct, perfect shot.
One of those
It's there.
One of those Carling moments. I think.
Yes, it's there. You know, it's if he hits it right and he gets an edge on the red one, it's set up for it.
Yeah.
Actually, I would quite like him to play it and get it, because it puts a bit of pressure on the last ball.
Well, it
doesn't
would, absolutely, it would, yeah.
And it would be like an exhibition shot. This It really
Massively
would be.
so, yeah.
I tell you what,
Roundabout.
he's not far away.
Roundabout.
Oh, he's just got it
Oh, it's a
wrong.
great effort.
Really,
Unlucky.
really good effort. It's going to be 1 to
Unlucky.
green. Match over. I'll tell you, he was an inch away from getting that. Absolutely perfect. 13-12-9-5 in favour of Danny Barwise and Billy Jackson over Andy Cairns and Chris Gale. It's a good match.
Excellent, excellent to watch. Really enjoyed that. I'm sure the crowd did as well. I think, again, the big 6 at the start of the first set it up quite nicely. Danny and Billy came back into it fairly soon afterwards, and then from then on, quite a close game. A lot of good bowls by all 4 players.
Yes, there's been good stuff here at Newton Hall today. Join us tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Simon Cowp against Catherine Rednall, the young teenager who won the World Ladies Invitation at Potters this year. And that's going to be a fascinating game with us here at Blackpool.